crashed. Was not anticipating that. Got no notification whatsoever that it was having an issue. It just suddenly went and yeah. So I lost my internet for my system. It's searching for a signal right now. Maybe it will find it. So I was not anticipating to stop the live stream. I was going to go another 30 minutes or so, but unfortunately, when an internet goes out, my hands are completely tied, and I can't do anything. It happens, unfortunately. You know, when you do a live stream, sometimes things happen that you can't anticipate, and losing internet connection is one of them. So, since I'm actually using my cell phone, since I can't rely on the network right now, and I'm putting my headphones that I have, I'm taking them off and putting them away for right now. So we're going to talk about Xbox. Holy Mother of God. The information, and I'm going to do a video. Hey, Sean, sorry. But we're going to talk about Xbox because Xbox has got a big problem. Big problem. And it has nothing to do with exclusives. Xbox has got a problem of existing. And I said this a while ago. When Xbox raised the price of the service for Game Pass, then PlayStation raised their service, then Xbox again raised the service. That was pretty much the end for the majority of Xbox users because a lot of people got frustrated. I got frustrated. In fact, when PlayStation raised their prices, I got frustrated, and I said something to a bunch of people on PlayStation. I said, I think this is the wrong idea. I'm going to wait on, getting another year of service, which I did. But at least PlayStation offers games and actually offers value compared to Xbox. And the reason I say that is because I feel like Xbox's value is not as good as PlayStation. So when I talk about Game Pass to me, if you just do the basic Game Pass, if you don't do the Ultimate, which is, in my opinion, the most ridiculous price, paying as much as you are for Ultimate just to get games that come out. Maybe some people find value in it. I don't. And this is not a knock on those people. It's just for me, I would rather own my games rather than rent my games. And that's kind of how I kind of feel that's what Game Pass is. It's, renting your games compared to owning your games. Now, I have an Xbox One. I will buy Xbox One games. I have a Series S, so it's not like I don't have an Xbox. I have plenty of Xboxes. Again, I got a One and I got a One S. Reason I have an Xbox One, it was a birthday present from Parawife, who is one of the coolest people in the world, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time. I think I had a 360 or something like that, maybe a regular Xbox, and I had not upgraded yet. I think I had a 360. I had not upgraded, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to buy you something for your birthday. And she completely surprised me with an Xbox One that I was not expecting. And I've loved that system. Then I had a friend of mine offer me a Series S because he was moving to PC and he needed the extra money. So he's like, hey, I need to sell this. Would you be interested in buying it? I talked to my spouse and I said, hey, I got an opportunity to buy one. Do you mind? And she was totally cool with it as long as certain things were paid, bills were paid, and I wasn't overspending. My spouse was totally cool with it, and I ended up getting an Xbox Series S, which I actually have still to this day. But I think the biggest problem with Xbox is, again, not the exclusive games. Because, let's be honest, there are only so many games Xbox has right now in its library, okay? You're talking Halo being number 1, in my opinion, Gears of War being number 2, okay? They have Bethesda, and they're right now forcing Bethesda, apparently, according to all the news reports that I've seen and all the emails I've seen, They're forcing Bethesda to push Elder Scrolls 6 and a new Fallout game, Fallout 5. They're pushing them to get them to make games before 2027. They want both Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. They want them out before 2027. So we're talking December. They want these games out. I think it's a terrible idea. Reason is Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development for 8 years. Okay, we know this. They were working on Starfield, but they were also working on Elder Scrolls, and I'm a fan. I love Elder Scrolls. Love Skyrim. I was just playing it a little bit ago before my network crashed. My whole thing is this. If you're going to push a game out, what's going to happen is it's going to be a buggy mess. That's why we've had so many delays with Grand Theft Auto 6. Look how many delays that game has had. We've had, 20 delays since it was announced? 20, maybe even 30. I don't remember. The last time I remember we had a delay was 6 months ago, and they said, hey, we're going to push it to November. Now there's reports may not come out till 2027. And I said that in the very beginning. Hey, what's up, Fracture? Welcome. But if Grand Theft Auto comes out, I don't think it's going to be till 2027. The reason I'm saying that is because with all the leaks, all the stuff that happened during the development cycle, you're talking about putting out a game and making sure it's rushed out. You don't want to do that. Because look what happened with Cyberpunk. Perfect example. It's telling a lot of people I don't think they should rush Cyberpunk. Looks like a fantastic game. They should not rush it. Take their time. Put out a game that's awesome, you know? And what happened? People started complaining because it had been 10 years since they've given any kind of an update. And then the backlash happened. I actually got a death threat because of my tweet I posted. I posted a tweet saying, this is what happens when you rush development. When you rush development on a game that is anticipated, you're going to get people that are upset when it's a complete cluster. And that's what Cyberpunk ended up being. It ended up being a complete cluster, barely playable, missions that made no sense whatsoever, missions that were glitched, mouthpieces that were not moving, graphical glitches, gameplay glitches, mission glitches. Just the whole 9 yards happened with that game. And what happened? They stepped back after the game released and they said, okay, how do we fix this? And they took their time to fix Cyberpunk. They took, 2 years? 2 years, and then they finally put out an update that we know as the Phantom update. And holy crap. Holy crap. That expansion that they put on Cyberpunk, game changer, ladies and gentlemen. That was a game changer. That made everything that happened with Cyberpunk, it completely disappeared everything. I forgave them right after that expansion because of how good that expansion is, and that's what happens when you take the time to develop games. So again, I'm going to say it very clear. They need to not rush Grand Theft Auto 6. They need to not rush Elder Scrolls 6. They need to not rush Fallout 5. Because it is going to be a cluster if it happens. If they rush these games out and they don't take their time and they don't get the right staff people to fill in certain things, make sure that games come out with no glitches, no graphical things. Bethesda has always been known for glitches. I mean, come on. You play Skyrim, you play Fallout, you know there are glitches up the yin-yang with Skyrim and Fallout. People use the glitches because they're funny as heck to, I guess, what's the word I'm trying to think of? You know, you get to use these glitches and you have fun using these glitches, but you don't want them to be glitchy to the point where they're not fun. And a lot of people are talking about getting Elder Scrolls 6 out the door And Bethesda is telling them, we need to get an Elder Scrolls 6 out the door before 2027. We need to get a Fallout game before 2027 because, we paid all this money for you guys to do that. And they've been basically working on Elder Scrolls for 8 years now. 8 years of development. And from what I understood from a lot of the stuff, there's no development. There's barely anything. They barely got any of the levels designed for Elder Scrolls 6. From what I understood, the last update that they had actually given to a bunch of investors, they only got 20% of the game done. 20% a year ago. That was a year ago. And Xbox is saying, push it out. It's good enough. This is not going to end well for Xbox. In fact, in my opinion, the only way Xbox can save themselves right now, okay, from being completely obliterated by PlayStation and Nintendo, is do something that they have not done since the original Xbox, okay? So, here's what I think needs to happen. When the original Xbox started, okay, a lot of people don't remember this because I started on one of the original Xbox. I still actually have my original Xbox. I don't play it very often, but it's sitting in a storage box. I still have my controller, my cords, everything on it, okay? One of the things that happened when Xbox first came out, yes, they did have the Xbox Live, okay? But for the first 3 months, 4 months, they did not activate Xbox Live. They were testing out the market to see who would play online, like PlayStation 2 did. They didn't charge anybody. There was no charge whatsoever to play online with people. That was a game changer. PS2 especially. Oh my God. Playing PS2 games, that was a game changer back in the day. There were 2 delays for GTA 6, one in fall 20 and the next in May of this year. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is what I think Xbox need to do. They need to sit down and they go, okay, we need to gain fans back. We need people to come back. Why don't we make Game Pass Ultimate free for a full year for anybody that has an Xbox? Let's just make it free for a full year. Don't charge anybody. Give them Ultimate for a full year. Say, this is our gift for you. Merry Christmas. Guaranteed it would change the whole scale. And if they drop the price of Ultimate down to, let's say, $20 a month, okay? $20 a month for Ultimate instead of what it currently is right now, okay? Can you imagine how many people would start going over to Xbox because you're paying $20 a month for the Ultimate service, especially if they lock it in for a price for, let's say, 2 years of service and you don't have to pay anything after that. So you can stack for 2 years and they allow you to do that for 2 years and you keep the price at $20 a month for Ultimate, by the way. Wouldn't that be a game changer for the majority of Xbox? I think it would be. I think the majority of people that have an Xbox would be like, heck yeah. Then Sony would say, oh crap. Oh crap. All right, we've been overcharging people $80 for a year. And Xbox has $20 a year. And they're giving their online service to everybody for that $20 a year. Imagine the chaos that Sony would think about. Think about Nintendo for a second. Nintendo would see that and they'd be like, what the hell? Xbox is $20 a month? PlayStation is dropping it to $20 a month? We like our money, but we like our fans more. They give us money. All right, let's drop it down to 15. Game changer. I'm just saying. I know that's probably not going to happen because they're greedy as all hell. Let's be completely honest. Xbox, PlayStation, everybody's greedy. Okay, they want you to pay for these absorbent online costs, and you know for a fact it doesn't cost that much to have servers on. Okay, I've had servers, I've paid for servers. I think I was spending maybe $7 a month to have a full server go like the whole time on my Millionaires game, and I pay it every month. So that's $7 every month that is on my game that I reprogrammed. Okay, I'm only paying $7 a month. So why are they charging you $60 a month, $80, whatever the price is for a full year, when it doesn't cost that much to keep a server up and running? And I'm not even like, when I'm paying for a server, I'm not even maintaining that server. It's a third party maintaining that server. They're the ones doing the work. I'm just borrowing it. Doesn't make any sense. Even PlayStation lets you play certain games for free. Exactly. So if Xbox did that, again, complete game changer in my opinion. I think Xbox would be like, oh my God, what do we do? Well, if we drop the price down, we might actually get a couple fans back, and I think that's what will happen. But again, I don't want to say yes or no, because I don't know what will happen in the future. But this is what I think should happen in the future. I think Xbox needs to drop the price of Game Pass, or even, like I said, give Game Pass for a full year for free to every single person that has been on Xbox for a year or longer. Be like, well, you know what? Merry Christmas. Here you go. Because without doing this, Xbox is going to die. And it will die not a quiet death. It will die screaming into the ground like a meteor shower. And people are going to be upset because Xbox is no more. Because they shut down. Microsoft sold all their games like Halo and Fallout and Elder Scrolls. They sold it all to PlayStation because they were more concerned about the money. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about the Xbox and what they can do to save themselves, which I think we got a better chance of finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn while stroking his hair because he's got a hot date with the bearded lady. But stranger things have happened. But I will say, in terms of Elder Scrolls, what's my name? Paranormal Video Gamer. Hi. So Henry Chip, welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, so in terms of Elder Scrolls, I don't necessarily agree they need to rush it out. I think that'd be a dumb thing for them to do, rush out Elder Scrolls. I think if the memos are correct, which I've seen a lot of posts and a lot of memos from internal stuff. Sean deleted a message. I got notification on that, man. But anyway, I think if Microsoft was smart, they would stop trying to push Elder Scroll out. And I think they should stop, not try to make... Oh, bot. I think they need to not do anything with Fallout right now. Just let them develop, let them cook, let them do what they do best. Bethesda is best when you leave them alone and you let them build games. That's what they do best. We don't want another Cyberpunk. We don't want a Superman 64 to come out where it's a complete turd the moment it gets released. I don't want that. I don't think anybody else wants that. I remember when Exo Primal came out. Everybody was talking about that. They cooking. Exactly. I remember when people were talking about that game, about how it's going to be the next Dino Crisis. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. They took assets that were kind of like Dino Crisis, but not exactly. And by the way, again, I said this on the live stream. A lot of people have been talking about getting Dino Crisis to come back. West Side, I'm talking about, well, first off, I was talking about Xbox, and now I'm talking about, Bethesda and development and stuff like that. But, yeah, so with Cyberpunk, one of the biggest things was the development time, and then you have to also look at, you know, what would happen if Bethesda pushes more of these games. It's We Outside with it. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, We Outside with it. Okay, my bad. Sometimes when the chat kind of things, it goes really quick and I can't really see it because on my screen it's like really tiny. So, but anyway, We Outside. Thank you for joining. Um, but yeah, I think with the development time, you don't want to push your development time ahead of when the game is supposed to come out, because we all know Bethesda games are buggy. This is just how it is. Okay, they come out, they're buggy, they get fixed. Cyberpunk did it when they released the Phantom DLC. Again, it was amazing. Well, thank you for We Outside. Thank you for that sub. But yeah, when they made that game and it was buggy and everybody was like, "Don't play this. It's horrible." This is what I don't want with GTA 6, because this is what's happening. They're pushing out these games and they're saying, "Oh yeah, you know, we got to push these games out." I think they need to take their time. I think they need to take their time. I think we need to like be patient. I understand people want GTA 6. I want GTA 6 at some point. I am excited for the Wolverine game because that looks seriously good. We are about to be blessed with Wolverine, and I'm looking forward to it because we have not had a good Wolverine game since maybe, and this is a stretch, and not straight Wolverine game, but like a really good Wolverine type of game. We have not had one since the 4-player co-op that came out on PlayStation 2, which is Ultimate Alliance, in my opinion. X-Men Legends was another great Wolverine game where you got to play as Wolverine, but you weren't exactly Wolverine. You had other characters. But if anyone remembers Wolverine's Revenge, that tied into the movie, and again, thank you, Stephanie, very much for those hearts. But if you remember Wolverine's Revenge, holy crap. I just had to look behind me and make sure that my parawife is on her way home. But Wolverine's Revenge was so terrible. I remember the control. I hated it when it first came out. It took me forever to get used to the control. And underneath it, it's not a horrible game, but it's also not a great game. So, I don't know why Stephanie was timed out, but okay. But anyway, listen. Wolverine's game that's coming out here on PS5 looks sick. It looks amazing. I pre-ordered it. Oh, Stephanie was a bot. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can't see anything, so if she was posting things, it didn't come up on my screen. But yeah, Wolverine looks great. I can't wait for it. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. I am. And let's go. Let's get ready for some really cool games. I'm going to be doing a bunch of games. There's the paranormal game that I'm going to be doing on my next stream, where I'm actually going to do paranormal investigation on the stream. It's called Phasmophobia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to be doing that in a live stream. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys will join me for the next one. And guys, thank you so much for the likes. Sorry that the stream ended when it did. Again, network issue. I have no control over that. And I'm actually going to do a video talking about Xbox, going to a little bit more detail also about Grand Theft Auto 5 and Elder Scrolls and a couple other things. Message you on Facebook, no problem, Sean. You guys have a great night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next live stream. And remember, please remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Paranormal Video Gamer. Good night, everybody. Boop, 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 boop. Take care.